Viewers, we turn our attention to Pakistan now, where a big development has taken place in the Supreme Court. The five-judge bench led by the Chief Justice of Pakistan that is hearing the case against the dissolution of the Pakistan Assembly has confirmed that they will pronounce the verdict today, and this pronouncement comes after the Chief Justice of Pakistan made a number of key observations, particular among them being his observation that the Deputy Speaker made a mistake by dissolving the Assembly. That is an observation he made just a short while before he announced that the verdict would be pronounced today and that the Supreme Court needs to work towards the national interest. Viewers, this is a hearing that has been going on since the day that the dissolution of the Assembly took place, and now we have Khalid Jamil joining us from Islamabad. Khalid, key observations made by the Supreme Court Chief Justice of Pakistan. One is, I believe he has said that the Deputy Speaker erred in dissolving the Assembly, and the second is that the verdict will be out today. What are you hearing?
Yes, today was a very important day in the Supreme Court, where the five-member bench headed by the Chief Justice of Pakistan is hearing a very, very important case, which is now going to be announced his verdict shortly. Before taking a break, the Chief Justice, after the hearing of the arguments from the Attorney General of Pakistan, said that all judges are now convinced and they are on the opinion that the action of the Deputy Speaker, the ruling of the Deputy Speaker was incorrect. However, the Chief Justice of Pakistan asked the Attorney General to give them, to guide them for a way forward in the Pakistan, what should be done. At the same time, he also asked the Council of Pakistan Muslim League, Makhdoom Ali Khan, who was the former Attorney General of Pakistan, do think in the 15 to 20 minutes what should be the future of the Pakistan politics, and then assist the court. Before this, Attorney General of Pakistan admitted that there are some mistakes during the proceedings, but the constitutional Article 69 give them a cover. However, he said that there should be some amendments in the constitution to see whether the jurisdiction of the speaker or the power of the speaker are good or not. And
right.
What should be done?
Khalid, that is the discussion about the Speaker. There was also a discussion in the Supreme Court about the Prime Minister, specifically to do with Article 58, I believe, of the Pakistan Constitution, which says that the Prime Minister has the power to dissolve the Assembly, but not if he doesn't have a majority. Is that correct?
No, it was in regard of the power of the Prime Minister, but the attorneys of the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, President, and the Federation Lawyer, Attorney General, all they said that the Prime Minister has a power without any justification. He can advise to the President of Pakistan to dissolve the National Assembly. There was an observation and query from the judges: if the Prime Minister is facing a no confidence motion, then the lawyer said that at that time, if the resolution on the table, then the Prime Minister cannot use this power. However, after the ruling of the Deputy Speaker, that restriction was ended. That's why the Prime Minister issued advice to the President for the dissolution of the Assembly. So Supreme Court agreed with this position, but now it's a time for a decision, and the Attorney General of Pakistan informed the judges that if the same National Assembly will be restored, then there will be a chaos, there will be clashes on the streets, and in the Islamabad and the Lahore, the opposition parties are buying the loyalties of the ruling party members. So in this situation, the new Assembly will be very difficult to functional. So that's why it's better to go into the elections. And in the recent past, and also in the 1988, the full court of the Supreme Court of Pakistan gave a decision in the case of Muhammad Khan Junejo.
Khalid, stay with us. We have Salman Akram Raja, who is a Pakistan constitutional lawyer, joining us. Mr. Raja, the Deputy Speaker erred in his decision to dissolve the Assembly is the observation made by the Chief Justice of Pakistan. What more can you tell us, and will this decide which way the order will go?
Well, no, the Deputy Speaker did not dissolve the Assembly. The Deputy Speaker rejected the pending resolution of no confidence against the Prime Minister. So he said he would not allow a vote on that resolution of no confidence and rejected that. The consequence of the Deputy Speaker's ruling was that the Prime Minister became free of the pendency of a resolution of no confidence. Our Constitution says that as long as a resolution of no confidence is pending against a Prime Minister, he cannot dissolve the National Assembly. As soon as this resolution was rejected by the Deputy Speaker, the Prime Minister immediately thereafter dissolved the Assembly. So the two things are now linked. If the Deputy Speaker's ruling saying that the resolution of no confidence is hereby rejected, if that ruling is set aside, then in law, I would argue, we would assume that the Prime Minister remained the Prime Minister against whom there was a no resolution move pending, and he therefore could not have dissolved the Assembly. And if he could not have dissolved the Assembly, then the Assembly stands restored. His dissolution is also void. So this is the legal situation, and I don't see how the Supreme Court can say, after saying that the ruling of the Deputy Speaker was wrong, was void, how they can allow and uphold the dissolution of the Assembly by the Prime Minister. So I really don't see that happening. I think we will see a restoration of the Assembly and a restoration of the no confidence move.
That's a big statement you've made, that you are seeing and predicting a restoration of the Assembly. Sir, I also want to ask you, Mr. Raja, another aspect that was brought up in the hearing was the National Security Council meeting, over which this allegation of conspiracy by foreign powers was mentioned in the House. Now, was there a lack of the specific protocol with regards to that meeting? Is that what emerged?
Well, what emerged was that the Foreign Minister himself had not participated in that meeting. The National Security Advisor apparently had not participated in the meeting, and that caused a fair deal of surprise among the members of the court. And really, the National Security Committee did not carry out any investigation and has not really given a finding that there was an American conspiracy to cause regime change in Pakistan. All that committee said was that the language used by the Under-Secretary for South Asia, Mr. Liu, was inappropriate and a diplomatic response be made. So from that, it does not follow that the National Security Committee had arrived at a decision or at a finding that there was a regime change conspiracy underway. I think that part really fizzled out, and the court really was not very interested in the minutes of that meeting after a point. They looked at the minutes which were presented, but they clearly said that we will look at the constitutional issues and not the factual issues.
Right. Salman Akram Raja there, Pakistan constitutional lawyer, spelling out some of the details of this big hearing that is taking place right now in the Pakistan Supreme Court. I thank him for joining us, and he's made a big prediction, which is that given how things have gone so far, it appears that there could be a big order coming in. The restoration of the Assembly could also be on the cards. We are standing by for that order to be pronounced in Pakistan.